how I will die.
Elche in the bottom three in La Liga, they've made 9 changes, but a positive result could help them in terms of climbing up the league, couldn't it?
And sell some other players. If anybody wants any Elche players, they're all available. The good thing that they have, the good news this week for them, is that actually they've managed to pay some of the debts, so improve as a club. But in regards to these, I mean, Fran Escribá, who looks like Jose Mourinho, he actually has said they've got no chance whatsoever, have they? At 1%, he said, 1%.
I wouldn't even give him 1%, to be honest, but you never know. In terms of the players that Luis Enrique has picked tonight, Luis, who should we watch out for, do you think?
Well, I like very much Sergio Roberto. He's been playing already with the first team. Every time he comes into the game, gives something, good quality, good vision of the game, and well, he's one of the players I like. And one of the young ones, it could be Adama. He's a good striker or winger who can show a lot of skills.
OK, well, if anyone wants to see what's coming out of La Masia, that is Barcelona's academy, here's your chance to judge tonight. Commentary team, Jerry Armstrong and John Driscoll.
Thank you, Scott. Fran Escribá puts his Elche side's chance of reaching the quarter-finals at less than 1%. But they can win this game and build on the improvements that seen them climb off the bottom of La Liga, albeit only on goals scored. Luis Enrique's fragile position and club politics resulted in Barca playing something like their strongest side last week against Elche's Copa del Re team. It was missing some key players. The result was a 5-0 win for the Catalans, and now a chance to see some less than familiar names in the team. Elche have done all right recently, though. They fought back from 2-0 down against Villarreal, and then they beat Athletic Bilbao. That's in their last 2 league games. And the players have even been paid. Went without their wages in November and December. It was a club in a mess, but Fran Escribá possibly has got them turning around.
Well, the results in the league in the last 2 games have been very good. We had a lot of eyebrows raised to go and win at Bilbao. Not too many people do that, but I'm looking at the side that's out tonight, and I have to think that they've given up on this one, and it's a fixture they need to fulfill. But Barcelona, you know, they've done the damage. 5 goals in the first leg means it's an awful big mountain to climb for Elche.
So we'll look at these names as the Barcelona team goes through. Bartra, Mathieu, familiar claims in defence, but Gerard Gumbau, the number 35, a tall 20-year-old midfield player who was away on loan at Girona B just last season. Also in the team, Meunier, we've seen a bit of him. Adama Traore, who scored a fantastic goal in the rout against Huesca in an earlier round. It's not a total rookie team, is it, from Luis Enrique?
Look, the back four solid. Straight away you've got experience and strength in there, and the goalkeeper. So you've got a strength in the back four, and you've got quality as well up front. You know, Pedro is a quality player, and Rafinha, Sergio Roberto, and here we are on the break.
Minas is eventually stopped. Adriano felt that one. He's gone down. Pedro always attacking at pace whenever he gets the opportunity, of course, and Sergio Roberto and Rafinha. Oh, it's lovely play, Meunier, great save, offside anyway, but goalkeeper Manu Herrera wasn't to know that.
He didn't, and at 35 or 33 years old, he was quick off his line. Have a look, wonderful run. I think he's onside. He's level for me with the last defender. Tight one for the officials, but Meunier gets on the end of it, and give credit to the goalkeeper Manu Herrera. Excellent save to start it off.
One of the teenagers, Munir, full Spain international though. Sort of nicked him from Morocco. He's Spanish born, but there was interest as well from his family's country, Morocco, but Spain snapped him up, put him in one qualifier, and that's it done.
Yeah, well, his pre-season games, scoring goals, his technique, his skill, I think they had earmarked him and said this is one that we're going to get in this year. He's forced his way into the squad, and last night I watched the likes of Denis Suarez and Deulofeu, who are on loan to Sevilla from Barcelona B, and it shows you the strength and depth and the quality they've got.
I'm interested to see how many more times he plays for Spain. I'm not convinced. We'll see tonight, though. Nearly got a goal there, didn't he? And Edu Albacar, the veteran left back who was paying him on. There's more problems again with Pedro's pace. And it is Edu Albacar who gets there. So we've got some work to do here, the veteran.
Well, he's done well.
One of these players that you get in Spain who's had a long career without ever really hitting the heights, and he comes into La Liga at a considerable age and realises he's actually quite a good player. Here is Adama Traore, though, perhaps to test him. Oh, lovely skills, and he got his cross in.
That's a try.
That's the first involvement by the debutant, isn't it? Gerard Gumbau.
Well, I expected to see Samper playing tonight. He's impressed me when I've watched him, and maybe they feel it's a chance to give Gerard Gumbau his opportunity. He must be doing really well, but that's the first piece of action I've seen from him. Wasn't the best tackle in the world.
Well, they are ever so slightly guilty of producing lots of the same sort of player, the Barcelona youth setup. Oh, there's a poor ball by Manu Herrera, and David Traore, who's been fouled there by... In fact, he's been fouled twice, but look at the strength of this young man.
Oh, it's a shame. Now, that's something I don't like to see, and it happens a lot, particularly at Barcelona. And he's got to the byline. He could have put a cross, and he's done really well. Have a look. Strength, power. Could have went down, got the free kick. No, stays on his feet. Put the cross in. Wants to be clever. You don't need to be clever there. Certainly another one to look out for.
Such competition for places, though, amongst those Barcelona front players. And of course, Messi, Neymar and Suarez occupying the places in the first team. Here's Jeremy Mathieu. And Marc Bartra scored in the final of the Copa del Re last season. Also got skinned with that famous goal by Gareth Bale. Oh, that's a lovely skill by Rafinha. Back at Barca this season after a really good year with Celta Vigo. And Pedro, again pacey from Pedro, and again he does well to stay on his feet. Sergio Roberto to Martin Montoya, back in the fold with Luis Enrique. There's Rafinha again. Sergio Roberto. Manu Herrera, the goalkeeper, was a Real Madrid youth team player. A long time ago now, of course. Mathieu being closed down, calmly done. The outlet ball to the versatile, reliable Adriano. There's another opportunity to pull it back. Sergio Roberto, there's a vital touch on that one. Coromines then can bring it away, and he goes back to Edu Albacar. Nice bit of skill. An interesting battle, isn't it? He's old enough to be his dad, I think. Edu Albacar and Adama Traore.
I think we've already seen, John, he's too strong and too quick, so the left back Albacar is going to have to use all experience tonight, and they're under pressure straight away. 7 minutes, it's been domination from Barcelona, their typical style of football. Keep possession, keep pressing, keep the pressure on. They've got a couple of half chances, but nothing clear cut yet. Good skill.
Lovely stuff from Pedro. And again, everybody else makes their way into the middle. It's still Pedro. Once again, cut out this time by David Lombán. Nice delivery towards Martin Montoya, down into the middle again, and a total scuff this time when he went all the way up from the left-back position, Adriano, and he really should have just knocked that in.
Well, you give him credit for getting there, but you're right. I mean, this is a super ball in. Good header, back into the danger area. Well, take your pick. There's two mistakes for me. The first one was Rafinha. He maybe should have had a pot at goal, and then Adrian, he completely fluffs it on his right foot. That's an open goal there. There's your first real clear chance, John, for me, and they've fluffed their lines.
When he scored once this season, it was in the big win in the Copa del Re in the last round.
Adrian's good on either foot. He tends to score spectacular goals, though, doesn't he? From outside the box.
Good strength by Mario Pasalic. He's on loan from Chelsea. A young Croatian, now a full international. And there's Lombán again. Former Barcelona B-team player himself, David Lombán. Hit long and quick towards Christian Herrera. Two Herreras in the Elche team. Montoya loses out. Skillfully done, nice play by Roger Panic. Argentine player who has come from Boca Juniors and is getting a chance here now with Elche. Skillful bit of play again by Pasalic. Interesting challenge for him. Sure, we'd like to come up against Alan Halilovic, who's on the bench for Barcelona, an even younger Croatian midfield player.
Oh,
that's the foul by Pasalic.
It's the only way he's going to stop him. I like Pasalic, so he's done well the games I've watched him play. He's good in the air, he's competitive. You can see here, not afraid to take Rafinha out. Well, just approaching 10 minutes gone, and Elche under the cosh at the moment.
Pedro just gets the ball from Adriano. He's decided to run it. Now down the Traore. Adriano struck it better than his last effort. It was a lot further out.
Like I say, John, he likes to strike from distance. That's the sort of goals he scores. But it's a little bit ambitious, I think, on that occasion.
Because Barcelona have their problems as well as Elche. They're just a bit more first world. No sporting director, transfer ban. Presidential elections coming up in the summer. Without being able to sign players, never quite sure what the presidential candidates are going to promise to win votes.
The thing is, when you've got that sort of quality in the second string, it's not such a big problem. You want to keep your star players fit. You want to keep Messi and Suarez and Neymar fit.
Good work by Christian Herrera initially.
He was the birthday boy 2 days ago, wasn't he?
A nice present will be a first goal of the season. It's a striker, hasn't hit the back of the net. He had a bit of promise when he came in. We first saw him last season.
Yeah.
He struggled though. Jonathan has definitely been the star of the team for Elche.
Easy. His movement is good. He's strong and tall. He's done very well. 7 goals. But he's on the bench. And that tells me that Fran Escriba is thinking, this is a game we can't win. I don't want to lose it by heavy, so I'll put in some experience, and he'll probably take a draw now, wouldn't he?
Bartra's taken the ball away from Corominas, part of the Espanyol squad that won the cup quite a while ago. Here's Alvaro, first opportunity for another one of their young attacking players. Pasalic passes on the responsibility. So look, it's Rafa Galvez who hit the shot, the deeper of the two midfield players.
Yeah, that was even more speculative than Adriano's earlier.
Rafinha, little bit of skill and then the acceleration. Pasalic cleared by Jose Antonio Peral, whose first chance to have a look at him in the first team for Elche at right back. And that's good work by Rafa Galvez.
He's a bit unlucky. Gerard Gombrao looked like he had won it initially. The referee thought he fouled him. I think he gets a good chunk of the ball. And again, I think he gets a good chunk of the ball on both occasions. A little bit unfortunate there, Gombrao.
Ter Stegen hasn't played a minute of league action yet, but he's been a regular in both cup competitions, played all of the Champions League matches. Seydou Albacar, who fires in so many of their set pieces. Montoya with a good header away. But Aminas has lost out. Back again though. Alvaro supports in the middle. Pellegrin, the central defender, still up from the back, and that was his header. Down into a dangerous area towards Christian Herrera, and he was blocked off. It's a corner.
Well, that's the best piece of play I've seen from Elche. There's a good cross from the right hand side. The header back into the danger area was good. Christian Herrera's allowed the time to actually control it on his chest. It wouldn't sit down, and he takes the deflection off Bartra. That's decent play, well done. Pellegrin was the one that wanted the far post. He's come up.
Cross was underhit though by Pasalic. Acrobatically away by young Adama. Pressure on Peral to go back to Manu Herrera. Good technique though by Alvaro. And the ball playing blind by Jose Peral.
That's good pressing from Barcelona. The ball knocked forward. Pedro chased it down, made the goalkeeper kick it long, and everybody pushed up the halfway line. This is Mathieu.
Sergio Roberto, his 49th first team appearance, only started one in La Liga this season.
Yeah, he's come on as a sub a lot in La Liga last year, and this year you can see they're giving him opportunities to play. They've obviously see something in him for the future and giving him a chance. This is Mathieu.
Sergio Roberto. The elegant play. Until the pass. Adriano trying to get it back again to Sergio Roberto.
He did well, you know, to a point, and you think, does he need to go wide again? Does he not want to play a 1-2 or get the ball into somebody in the box? And the pass to Adrian wasn't the fate. It was playing ahead of him. I wonder what Luis Enrique is thinking at the moment.
Needs to keep winning matches, doesn't he? That's the only thing that's going to make things work out for him.
That's it. That's what your job is, especially as a Barcelona manager. You can't afford to lose a couple of games in a row, and you have to win things.
Especially given that Real Sociedad game where he made such big calls and they ended up losing that game.
Yeah, and also he made calls in the derby, the Clásico, when he played Mathieu as a left back and left Jordi Alba on the bench. I thought that was a mistake at the time, and they paid the penalty for it. It's a good ball. Oh, it's a shame. Movement was good. He had the couple of yards on Montoya. Initially it looked like it was a decent ball. He was onside. The timing of the run's good. A bit of backspin on the ball that's gone out of play. Fran Escriba, well, I think the first leg the damage was definitely done, but he'd be happy enough with how they performed in the opening 17 minutes.
It did sound like he was giving up on the job for a few weeks. Every time he spoke, he was more or less saying, I've had enough of this. That's when the players weren't being paid. You can understand where he was coming from. Dispiriting job, and the effect on the pitch was obvious as well.
Yeah, he's trying to build morale, and obviously the fact they're not getting paid means that they're down in the dumps. That's a good ball. Movement's good at the moment. They're moving well, Elche, dragging defenders about.
Fragapane fouling Rafinha, trying to spring Munir forward. Pasalic and Perao. He's 22, Perao, so he's not really a kid to be coming into the first team when you consider the experience that, for example, Munir has. Fragapane. Rafa Galvez to Perao. Good technique in his controlling of the ball. Coromines trying to turn it back for Alvaro.
Oh, there's a break on.
Rafinha. Look at the pace of Adama Traore. He was tripped there, wasn't it?
There's a problem here. Is it was
Edu Albuquerque. Now, how will the referee read this one? The colour of the card is just yellow.
That was a really tight decision. It was borderline as whether Albuquerque, who we mentioned earlier, one of the 35-year-olds in the side, he hasn't got the pace, and he's caught out, and he takes him out. I think the referee's probably just got it right. There is a centre half there who looks like he's maybe ahead of him, but it's deliberate. He's lucky it's not a red card. He really is.
Cynical, isn't it?
Oh, very cynical, but that's the experience that's coming into play. Albuquerque thinks, I'm not going to catch him, and he's gone through a goal. I'm going to have to take him out now.
Neither, for that matter, was Pellegrin, the other defender. There's no way he was catching him either, was there? I suppose you
but
can't take that into account, can you?
Don't. That's the referee in the lines will have to say, well, yeah, there was another player there who, you know, from a technical point of view, he could have got across, but you and I know he wouldn't have.
So Barca just have a free kick instead. Could be Pedro, could be Machia. Hasn't scored yet, Jeremy Machia.
He's got a good left foot.
That's not a bad effort. Oh, wow, what a goal! He's scored now, all right. Brilliant strike by Jeremy Machia. Just swung one of those big, long legs through it, and it arrowed into the top corner.
That's some strike for a centre half stroke left wing back. Like I said earlier, he's got a good left foot. That's a super strike. Have a look at that. That's tough corner. Eat your heart out, Lionel Messi. May be able to boast in the training ground to Lionel about that one. That's top drawer. No way the keeper's going to see that. But better from that angle. Have a look at it swinging and dipping. John, that's a great goal.
It's quite a calm celebration. I know it takes them to 6-0, but it's your first goal for Barcelona. What an amazing goal it was. I'm not saying he's going to take Messi's place in the pecking order for free kicks, but Messi doesn't really score from that far out, does he, when he takes it?
Well, there'll be a bit of banter over it, that's for sure. No, whenever it's 30-35 yards out, it's Dani Alves territory. This is a great run.
Adriano, the Dani Alves ones sometimes are dangerous, aren't they? Sometimes they dribble down to the corner flag.
Yeah, well, it's a hit and miss. You don't know with Danny. He's a Brazilian, a bit like Roberto Carlos, you know. When Roberto Carlos hit them, they really went. But half of them weren't even on target.
Good pressure, pressing high up from these Barcelona players. not exactly novices, are they? The likes of Pedro here, who's got nearly 50 international caps, World Cup winner and all of that.
No, he's got quality on the park. He's got some youth in there as well. And watching Gerard Gombao, who's done pretty well for me. Big lad as well, isn't he? What's he, 6'3"?
6'2", so slightly smaller than Sergio Busquets, who's very much doing that job, isn't he? The Busquets job.
Yeah, he's done it well. Sitting and anchoring the midfield, just winning it and passing it. Seems to have something about him when it comes to tackling as well. Not afraid to get stuck in. Great ball.
Ignored him, and instead he releases Pedro. And in towards Sergio Roberto. Wasn't a bad run either. Lomban came through the ranks at Valencia before going to Barca. Just the Barca B team doesn't necessarily mean that you're being picked out to have a career in the Barca first team. They're struggling this season, the Barca B team, at the bottom end of Segunda. Christian Herrera pressurising Marc Bartra, who got lots of playing time in that B team before coming to be around the first team squad.
Yep, Fragapani, the culprit there, giving the free kick away. He's done all right, Marc Bartra, since he's got his opportunity. He's decent player.
I know there are lots of people who would like to see Luis Enrique stick with a back four from even one game to another would do. Although the defensive record in La Liga is good. Here's Montoya. Nice first touch from Montoya. Excellent work. And still, he sort of fizzed the cross, didn't he? That's where it broke down. Alvaro, decent skill initially, but then he can't get away.
Barcelona's having a lot of joy down this right-hand side.
There's Rafinha. Elegant player, isn't he, the little midfield player. Adriano to Pedro. And Adama Traore around the back. Abdelkader read it better.
Yes, that's a lack of experience there, wasn't it? Young Adama tried to get in front of the defender who, as you said, John, judged the flight of the ball much better. That'll come with experience, though.
Be an interesting challenge for Adama Traore today. One against a real streetwise defender. One who's already on a yellow card. Is Christian Herrera to Coro. Well, one back again for Elche. And Pasalic. Lomban under a little bit of pressure. Then the veteran Pellegrin.
When you press them, that's what happens. So this is what obviously Barcelona's been told to do. Squeeze, press them. They won't be able to play their way out. They'll knock the ball back to us. We get possession. We start another attack, and that's why they've dominated possession in the opening 26 minutes. But only the one goal to the good.
Adriano away. Nice change of body shape and another booming cross to the back post. This time Adama Traore was more of a threat. Martin Montoya's making out he got a whack on the back of the head.
Only he knows how hard the whack was on the head. It's probably like a slap. Let's have a look, see. Yeah, it's the hand coming round flailing, catches him with the fingers in the back of the head. He didn't need to go down for that.
It's only 5-5, a little bit more. Fragapani. Christian Herrera holds it up and wins the free kick.
Well, a belated free kick from Jaime Latre, our referee tonight.
Determined to play from the back, aren't
They're
they?
trying to, and they've almost been caught out. Now that's worked to their advantage.
It's Christian Herrera who's away. He's got Coromina square of him. Didn't reach there. Good defending, Mark Bartra.
Well, Manchu was the one came across on the cover. He slid in, and between the two of them, they've done very well. Oh, excellent.
Oh, deserved that as well, didn't he, Rafinha? That is cynically fouled.
He's going to get booked for that.
It's Frangipane who got away with that one a minute ago, didn't he? The flailing arm.
He has to book him for that one. That's so deliberate, it's untrue.
Another foul, this time it's Peral. Do without this. Card definitely comes up this time.
Well, he's not really made any challenges, but it's just been consistency. 2 or 3, 4 challenges, late challenges in a row. It's the second yellow card of the night. That's really late. Totally unnecessary from Peral on Pedro.
Bartra looking through the middle where Sergio Roberto had popped up. That's a powerful header back to the goalkeeper, isn't it?
It's worked out to his advantage. I think the goalkeeper, Manu Herrera's done well to actually pick that one up. Oh, there's a problem here. I think David Lomban, has he twisted his ankle?
Well, the irony here is that they only left 2 players in, didn't they? Lomban and Pasalic, and it's one of those 2 first teamers who's the man is injured. I think he's okay. He's lost his boot, hasn't he?
Just went down awkwardly here. Look, just on the outside.
Sergio Roberto stood on his boot, didn't he?
They can't afford really to lose the most experienced player at the back. This is some strike, isn't it? What a strike from Mathieu. Ooh la la.
Plenty of action coming up at the weekend back in La Liga. Relatively early start Saturday. Valencia Almeria at 5, and then Villarreal Athletic Bilbao at 7. And then Sunday, watch out for a very early start. Getafe Real Madrid at 5 to 11. Then a little gap, and we're back with Atletico against Granada at 5 to 4. Deportivo against Barca at 6. And keep going. Sevilla against Malaga at 8 o'clock. Big all day Sunday, and then Revista de la Liga 6 p.m. on Monday. Mathieu under a little bit of pressure. Hero of the hour so far in terms of this particular match. It really was the first leg of this, was the one where Luis Enrique probably should have made some changes, but because he'd made the changes against Sociedad, it had gone wrong.
He thinks, I better not do this.
He can't then leave them all out, can he? So he ended up with a much stronger team, even relatively, than Elche. They're always going to be stronger than Elche, you would imagine, in first team against first team.
That squad's a good squad. You know, I'm looking at 5 or 6 what you would call regular first team players in the starting lineup, and they're in different positions, different parts, but the back 4 is a solid back 4 with a solid goalkeeper, and then you've got the likes of Pepe, who is devastating on his day. Rafinha seems to be doing well for me. He's controlling everything. His movement, his passing, he's causing all sorts of problems. This is a good run.
Sergio Roberto this time. And again, it's the final pass where they're going wrong, isn't it?
But it's all down the right-hand side. They're cutting it back and there's no one getting on the end of it.
There's Alvaro. Rafinha doing a defensive job this time. It was Adriano who eventually made the foul. Alvaro is one of the Elche-born players in this Elche team. His second spell went away to play for Mallorca.
He certainly did. I remember him in his Mallorca days.
Edu Albuquerque. To David Lombard. Careless pass that. It's not from the Barcelona school, is it? That kind of passing. Given straight away to Pedro. Caught late by Lombard. No Adama. No offside against Martin Montoya. The impressive Rafinha. Pedro. It's controlled by Rafinha. Won it back again. Now Adama. Trick and a feint and settles for the corner.
Well, he knows he's got the power and the pace to go outside him. Albuquerque.
Pedro with the corner, handed away by Christian Herrera. And Rafinha. Oh, beautiful play again by Rafinha. Pedro. Referee was in the way there as Adama took up possession. In a more central position than we've seen him in at all tonight. Adama Traore. Lombard's header away.
Just still think their final pass is poor. Their decision making is poor on the final pass.
Good skill again. It's away from the defender. And still Adama Traore, and it's unlucky.
He knew what he wanted to do, and he didn't go outside that time. John, he turned inside, and then he took on the next defender, and he came inside on his left foot. This is strength and good skill. Wonderful touch for a big man. And then in he comes, Adama Traore on his left foot, and looking ahead, but he misses it at the near post, and that's the only mistake he makes for me. And Albuquerque, well, I said it earlier, he's got his work cut out. He really has. They keep this youngster in check.
When he lost him, he just turned and ran straight to the penalty area, didn't he? He just thought, I'm going to miss out the whole chase again. I'm just going to get back, block a shot in the end.
He looks very direct, doesn't he, though? Adama looks very direct and strong, and good touch. There's good pressing as well from him on that occasion.
Right stayed down. The pass was overhit though. I haven't seen much of him. Ter Stegen had one bad game when he first played against Paris Saint-Germain, but other than that, he's looked pretty solid.
Yeah, they're suspect from crosses, though, weren't there? It was 2 corners that came from. I wouldn't blame him just on his own, I think. The defending was poor.
in that Neuer style. I know it's an obvious comparison because he's German, but he plays really high up.
I was watching the start position when the ball's in the other half, and he's on the edge of the penalty area all the time, isn't he? On the edge of the box, looking to be keeper sweeper.
Good challenge was by the right back, Peral.
Well, Adrian's not playing like a left back. They're playing three at the back. Adrian just pushes right on and he supports Pedro there. And they're dominating possession. I think they can afford to do that.
Herrera ended up almost taking control of it. I think he's caught in two minds. Now Rafinha. Pedro to Adriano. Renier was waiting in the middle, didn't get it. Adriano carries on. Montoya making a run to the back post, doesn't get to him either. Giving it away though.
Just can't control the ball and keep it for 3 or 4 passes at the moment, Elche. Barcelona again, final ball not great from Pedro. The shot was speculative from the right hand side, but they've retained possession again, John, and just going about their business. They'll just gradually wear them down. Question is to get another one before half time and wrap it up totally.
Porro leaves it to run to Pasalic. Powerful run through the middle. Didn't ever quite get into shooting range, and Montoya nicked it off his toes.
Well, they were closing in on. As soon as he started getting into the final third, there was loads of Barcelona players were closing in on.
Rafinha to Pedro. Montoya. Sergio Roberto in shooting position now. Oh, they've scored a couple of brilliant goals tonight. Sergio Roberto put a boot through that, and it fizzed into the corner.
That's
not a chance with the 2 goals, the goalkeeper.
That's great technique. You know, and the pass and movement, then Montoya's pass, then looked for the return. Sergio Roberto had other ideas. Just took a step inside on his left foot and hammered it. Lovely piece of skill, and that's not his natural foot, his left foot. This is his so-called swinger, but looks decent to me. That's an excellent strike. No chance for the keeper again. Well, round the outside of the defender, you'll see it better from this angle. Have a look at the curl on that. That's excellent. There's nothing you can do about that. Nothing we can blame Manu Herrera for. 2-0. Stroke of half time, 2-0, and if they weren't totally in control, they are now.
Second goal of the season in the Copa del Re for the 22-year-old Sergio Roberto. 7-0 the aggregate score. We did make a plan for extra time and penalties. We're pretty confident it wasn't going to get put into place.
I have to tell you, Fran Escriva didn't have a plan for extra time and penalties. I think in the lineup he put out, he knew what was probably going to happen, but it's the right decision when you're second bottom. And the other thing is, John, they've only won 1 game in the league here, and they've conceded a lot more goals than they've actually scored. A few draws, but I think he's got to rest legs. That's a great run.
It's Montoya. And Renier. He's gone over. He's got a penalty.
There's 2 of them come in. I don't know which one has been blamed for it. Is it Alpacar?
Well, he's already been booked. To be honest, I didn't see the moment at which he was fouled. I saw him go over.
Yeah, there was one either side. I know Alpacar was one of them, but the referee was a lot closer to the play than we were, John. So And look at the replay. Let's have a look. See. Oh, he's caught from the outside. It is Albacar that catches him. Look, there. He clips his heels. That's a penalty. That's what the referee's seen. He's caught his right leg.
Well, it's the captain for the Knights, Pedro, to make it 3 before half-time. Sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. And even a weakened Barcelona team is proving to be way too strong for Elche.
Well, it's the technique, the skill, close control, change of pace. It's all of those things. And he had nothing to do with it, to be fair to him. Pasatic, it's down to Pellegrini on the left-hand side and Albacar on the right. I didn't think Pellegrini made any contact, but certainly Albacar did.
No sentiment with the choice of the penalty taker, was there? The man in the team with the most goals to his name.
Well, he's the most experienced up front, isn't he, as well, the striker. Ramirez won it.
I would argue could have done with a goal a bit more than Pedro. It was his 95th, Pedro, for Barcelona.
You know what Luis Enrique's like, and he's a stickler for telling people who's taking the penalties before kick-off, and that's it, regardless of who wins it.
Just to Stegen again. Judges it well, comes right outside of his penalty area and then shepherds it back in.
I just wonder as well, though, I can't see him saying to Mathieu that you're on free kicks for your left foot, especially with Adrian there as well.
The Elche supporters have done really well by their team in a difficult period. But a decent support. Don't quite know how they got themselves into such financial trouble. Not a sign of big name players, certainly. Here's Alvaro. And Corro. Still no proper test for Ter Stegen. What about now? Christian Herrera was in. Made a mess of the finish, and Barcelona have been absolute in this first half. It was a much changed team in the light of the first leg score. Of course, we expected that. Mathieu with a brilliant free kick got one. This is a rare chance for Elche at the other end. Fluffed his lines when it came to it. Still waiting for his first goal of the season. So Mathieu got the first, Sergio Roberto the second with a brilliant striker piece. Pedro with a penalty. 3-0 on the night, 8-0 the half-time aggregate score.
And Barcelona's second 11 has still been too good for Elche's first. No surprises, really. It's been very comfortable for Barca's youngsters. The thoughts of Luis Garcia and Guillem in just a couple of minutes' time. Barca have been in full control. It is 3-0. It is 8-0 on aggregate. We're not talking about a youngster here, but there's not many people who can give Lionel Messi a lesson in football. Did Jeremy Mathieu with that first goal?
Yeah, are we talking about a crisis again in Barcelona? Who's going to take the free kicks now? I think it's a great goal, you know, from a long distance, and perfectly with pace, perfect to the top corner. It's a beautiful goal.
Try fighting with Lionel Messi. I think that perhaps Mathieu was look at what Luis Enrique's doing and think, no, if you want to take the free kicks, that's fine. First goal for him, though. That would be good. That would give him a lot of confidence.
Yeah, he's been responding really well to the challenges of Barcelona. I think some people are disappointed that he's not a regular, for instance, left-footed centre-back. And some others are saying that doesn't belong to this level. But I think he's done, apart from the Clásico when he plays the left-back, he's done very good with the team.
Well, where he said he was playing out of position as well. Now, you talked about Sergio Roberto before the game. Done himself no harm at all with that goal and his performance, has he?
Yeah, I think he's playing really well. I mean, he's a talented player. He's shown many times. It's true that he's not playing as usual as he needs, because he's a young player. He needs to play a lot more to get that confidence. And a lot in this team, you know, it's Barcelona. It's difficult because in the midfield they have plenty of good players.
But for the last few years, there's been talk about him on the verge of breaking through, and he's not been able to do that. Why?
Well, like I said, it's not easy. I think he's a very young player. They try to maybe press him up a little bit. This kind of player, you have to give them time to adapt to the situation of playing in Barcelona. They need to play a lot in high competition, and he's not a player who haven't played at that level. So he needs to adapt, and we have to give the chance to play more.
What do the Barcelona hierarchy think of him? Has he got a chance of becoming a regular?
September, he signed a contract until 2019. That the club cannot do more for him in terms of the institution. But he made his debut in November 2010. He's 22 now, so he's 4 years that he's been trying to get a regular place in the team, and he hasn't got it. And unless he can play regularly, you won't be able to see what kind of quality he's got, and he could be in the first 11. What has he, not to replace Iniesta perhaps, but what has Iniesta done in the last year? And why not in the place of Rakitic? Certainly has got that level.
Or with the transfer ban at the moment, there's always and every chance for all the youngsters to perhaps come through and make some kind of impact. In terms of 3-0, no doubts about the penalty for you?
No, I think he touched it a little bit. It's true that sometimes in this kind of game maybe you look to another side, but I think he touched it, and it's a penalty. You cannot say anything else.
Good skill from Munir. What have you made of him and perhaps his future as well?
We don't know, because I mean, Munir started the season impressing everybody. He done it very good for the first few games, but after that we haven't seen him very often in the team. Maybe the level went down. We don't know what happened with him or the team, but he needs, again, he's a young player, he needs to play a lot, and when you are not playing, at the end your levels of confidence go down, and it's very important for a player to feel that confidence from the manager.
It was very much a whirlwind start to the season for him, and I suppose you expect the dip with the youngster.
Yeah, the problem is he's a little bit in limbo. He's not good enough to be one of the front three. He's not playing in the B side either. So it's difficult. And now when he plays as a false nine, which is the hardest place to play. He cannot play with his back to goal. He doesn't know when to make the runs. He's not used to it. So difficult season for him this year.
Yeah. Difficult for him, but not a difficult night for Barcelona. They lead by 3-0, 8-0 on aggregate, and Luis Enrique knows he This coming weekend. Saturday is Valencia against Almeria at 5 o'clock, followed by Villarreal against Athletic Bilbao at 7. 4 games we've got for you on Sunday, starting off with Getafe against Real Madrid at 10:55, followed by Atletico Madrid Granada at 3:55. Deportivo Barça is at 6, and we finish with Sevilla against Malaga at 8. All right. 1-0.
He finishes when he says, I don't know what I'll do next season, which he did not say, but he did left it open. He did leave it open. After that, he has said already at the end of the Ballon d'Or event that he didn't mean it that way, that he wants to be at Barcelona. But of course, if you say that, then the story is over in a way. What's clearly still going on is that there is a manager that has to improve his relationships with certain players for him to be accepted by everybody, including Leo.
We shall see if he wants to do that from now until the end of the season. Let's get back to Jerry Armstrong and John Driscoll.
Thank you, Scott. 8-0. It's a daunting scoreline, isn't it, for Elche to face? They're in a daunting position. They're off the bottom of La Liga, but they're effectively level with Granada. They've just scored more goals, and the head-to-head between the two teams is level. They've got them again in a couple of weeks' time. They've got Barcelona again before that. And they're hoping that this is not a dress rehearsal for that, given the half-time scoreline.
Well, they definitely didn't feel their strongest side, that's for sure tonight, John, and I think they're thinking ahead of the league. It's a lot more important than when you lose 5-0 in the first leg. I think the writing was on the wall.
Yeah, the likes of, well, the goalkeeper, Titon and Rocco. Obviously, Jonathas.
And one Jonathas.
Fair as well, but with the exception of, it's not a massive improvement, is it, to that team from this, to be honest.
That's why they're second bottom of the table.
You know, nice work again by the acceleration from him as well. I wonder if he is a wide player. Will we see him play more through the middle as his career develops? Oh, nice play, Montoya! Oh, struck it well, unlucky.
Excellent piece of play there from Montoya. Came forward, played the little 1-2, and that one whistled narrowly wide of the far post. Clever little layoff here from Sergio Roberto. That's not too far away.
There's hope in his eyes after it hit it. He was hoping it was curling in. Lomban and Pasalic, the two players from Elche who keep their team in their places in the team from the side that beat Athletic Bilbao. There's a chance here, and Ter Stegen has done well.
I'll say.
Barely ever seen him use his hands.
That's the new breed of goalkeepers, isn't it? Good with the ball at the feet.
Gerard Gumbau is the totally new player to most of us in the Barcelona team. He's been playing with the B team in the Segunda division.
He's done all right tonight, I have to say. He's looked solid, good defender. He's tall as well, he's a big lad.
Operating in what you could describe as the Busquets role this evening. Edu Albacar with a free kick. It's Bartra who won the header. Actually, it wasn't. It was Gumbau who got up and headed it away. It comes back into Alvaro. Oh, it's not a bad cross into and a total miscontrol by Christian Herrera. He's wasted a couple of chances tonight. Desperate for his first goal of the season and still waiting. Adriano to Sergi Roberto. He's had a good game. Munir to Pedro and Sergi Roberto and Adama. Great stuff from Barcelona. Oh, and another near miss. Both for Adama and for Pedro, who was coming in to try and turn it into the net.
Well, good play, great play. The ball, the diagonal ball from left to right here is excellent. First touch is not bad from Adama, but the finish, I don't know. I'm not sure he's actually even gone for goal. Is he looking to square it? I think he should be going for goal. But I think he's just tapping it across goal for Pedro. That was what it looked like to me. Had I been Adama, I'd have been hammering that hard and low for the far corner.
Sergio Roberto charging again and away from Pasalic. Oh, it's good ability.
Nope.
This time no penalty. The challenge by Lombard.
No complaints either. No arguments or complaints. That's good play. Let's have a look. Step over. No, that's not a penalty for me. The referee says exactly the same. No. I think David Lombard read which way he was going, and there's a break on.
Lucien Herrera waiting in the middle. This time it doesn't reach him.
Well, it was an opportunity from Fragapane. Should he have put in a little bit earlier, maybe? Did he need to take the extra touch?
Marc-Andre ter Stegen's not a giant goalkeeper. Not bothered about that at Barcelona. Nice skill by Pasalic, the Chelsea-owned Croatia international.
Yeah, he's only 19. He's done well when I've watched him play. Another one has a bright future.
Now here's Rafinha, not yet a full international. Rafinha chopped down by Pasalic.
That's a bad challenge.
Got away with a couple of hefty challenges.
Well, he's not even in contention for this one. Have a look. The ball's well past him when he takes him out.
Rafinha was a Spain under-19 and then Brazil under-20 international. He was born in Brazil to a Brazilian parent, a Brazilian dad, won the World Cup winning father. His brother, though, was obviously a Spain international, Thiago. Could end up with a situation of two brothers playing against each other one day. That's a lovely ball again. So many opportunities. This Munir just not quite high enough.
Well, he's got in first. The keeper's coming out for Manu, but I think Munir gets in first and gets a touch on it. Maybe the goalkeeper puts him off and it just goes wide. He was suggesting that the keeper maybe got a touch. Well, he's offside, isn't he? That's the first thing. He's offside.
Yeah, flag didn't go up.
Didn't go up, no.
Mathieu had 5 years with Valencia, coming from French football on a free transfer to Valencia, so they well out of him, didn't they? 5 years and then 20 million euros. (31).
He's married to a Valencia girl, isn't he? And that was one of the problems. I don't know if they were too keen to leave Valencia, but when Barcelona come calling,
you can see why Valencia sold, to be honest, as well. I mean, he's a good player, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, it's the age as well, though. You're thinking, get that sort of money for a player of 30 years of age, then you've got to take it, haven't you?
And they signed Mustafi, a World Cup winning defender, and Otamendi, who's been superb. So signed two central defenders for less money.
And they're playing three at the back now. Orban's playing as the three central defenders, and they play with wing backs. This is good. Oh, very ambitious.
I think his teammates shared Edu Albacar's idea of that. He can strike a good ball. Back into his defensive position on a yellow card. Oh, lucky he didn't catch him there, wasn't he?
Good skill.
Adama Traore, brilliant stuff. Strength and skill and pace. He's got lots of things going for him, this young man.
Power and pace and technique. Wow, that's a great combination. There's one and two very experienced players who cannot contain him. What's this piece of skill, Albacar? He's away. He's had a little nibble on him, but he's too strong. And step over, rides one challenge, and then Pellegrini, the other 35-year-old, he's past him. Corner kicks all they get, but wonderful play.
Barcelona absolutely dominant at the moment. Sergio Roberto's there. Mature swung a left boot at it. Here's Alvaro, little flashes of him. Adama Traore trying to foul it. No need, he's got all the pace he needs. Good pace as well from Sergio Roberto, I thought.
I didn't think that was a foul.
I think he might have pulled it.
I think he's caught him. I think he's just caught him. I think he's just caught him up. Let's have a look. He doesn't pull it back. He gets across him. I think he's just a little bit quicker.
I wonder whether he pulled it back for the
one before.
The foul. Yeah, the foul by Adama.
Maybe. Well, it's not the same spot, is it?
Sort of halfway between the two, isn't it? Where the two incidents were. Albuquerque has got a long way here, almost out of his penalty area to Stegen. He's taking positivity to the very limit.
Yeah, there was two players that were challenging for the ball. I thought both of them were offside, but linesman wouldn't flag until obviously there's contact with the ball. Would have been interesting to see what happens. And he was right on the edge of his penalty area, Ter Stegen, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think that's wrong as well from officials. If they're, I understand the law, I think it's a danger of a physical collision. Should put the flag up.
Yeah.
But it's ridiculous, isn't it, to let them challenge each other, let the goalkeeper come out and take someone out, and then say, "Oh, by the way, you're offside anyway."
Yeah.
Anyway, Albuquerque, good looking ball in, and it was Coro coming across, couldn't get anything on it.
Oh, Corominas, what a chance! What a chance! Let's have a look. See. Oh, superb ball. He's only inches away, isn't he? That's great from Albuquerque. He's got a sweet left foot. He dinks it in between the last defender and the goalkeeper. It could have resulted in a goal.
Montoya to Adama. Loses out to Lomban. Toramin has to chase, but there's the central defender, Marc-Andre Ter Stegen. Alvaro to Albuquerque. Effort again. Long range shooting. Frangipane.
It's not all right. It's good balance and comes in from the left hand side on his right foot, and the angle opens up. He's coming inside Bartra here. Long range shot, but it's not a bad effort.
Place passed by Munir, one back really well by Gumbau. Pedro to Adriano. Those two haven't been quite as prominent this second half. It's good work by Pedro. It's important, that, isn't it, for a striker to quickly win the ball back if you can.
Yeah, they just keep the possession, and that frustrates the opposition even more.
And then Montoya. Rafinha. Pedro again. Montoya still forward. He was the nearest to that.
Decent
behind
play
by Pellegrini.
Decent play, and Montoya was the one who made the run to the near post.
Adriano to Rafinha. Lovely little drag with the sole of the boot, but it's offside against Pedro. So again, just the decision making that's keeping the scoreline respectable here.
Yeah, must have been a tight one. A lovely passage of play here. Quick feet. Ooh.
I don't know how you possibly call that from where the assistant referee is.
They all look level. They all look level to me.
Even with the replay, I'd say it was level, but I think there must have been 6 in a line. So how he could have seen around? And
I don't know. And he's in the far side.
Know where Pedro is from there.
I think he said, "No way, Pedro."
Yeah. There's Gumbau. Traore, Adama Traore, almost getting on the end of that. It's a slight touch of Albacar.
I think because Albacar was in front of him, Adama didn't think he was going to prosper from it, but it was a miscontrol from Albacar. More pressure for Elche to defend.
Take it short again as Rafinha tries to wriggle his way beyond the challenges. Coro, and they do with the break here. Well, actually, hasn't he, to retain possession there, the former Espanyol man against Barcelona. Christian Herrera, good ball. Fragapane, they're in here, great chance. Oh, it is Mathieu. Just stuck out one of those long legs at a vital moment.
I think Mathieu knew where the ball was going to go before Fragapane did. Excellent cover. I wouldn't mind Elche scoring a goal. They're having a go, John, and you like to see them get a goal back and give the fans, the home fans, something to cheer about.
18 for the season. League and Cup so far. It's not enough, is it?
No, that's their problem.
Gumbau to Rafinha. Now Martin Montoya will pass the hour. We'll see some changes soon. Oh, there he goes again. I enjoy watching this young man, Adama Traore. Stop this time, good tackle. Albacar.
Well, there's a chance for the youngsters.
So we are about to see Alen Halilovic going. Douglas is coming on for Montoya at right back. And Douglas was a much criticised signing, wasn't he? He was a Zubizarreta signing for 4 million. There was a desperate situation, wasn't it, with the transfer ban coming up, and they ended up signing a right back when everyone thought, well, got Alves and Montoya, they don't need a right back. So no one could quite understand why he came in. It's a shame. I'm glad that we're seeing Halilovic. Disappointed though that Adama Traore has gone off.
He's done well. You know, I've seen enough in the hour that there's great potential there.
He's not a kid who needs protection, is he? Adama
No,
Traore.
he's strong. He's strong.
Could play for Mali if he wanted to, or Spain. Spanish born.
Another substitution. Pasalic.
Makes sense to rest him. It's Adrian. Been around La Liga some time, Adrian, hasn't he? Son of the great Michel, the Real Madrid great, Olympiacos manager, and he had Adrian with him at a couple of clubs. They've gone their separate ways. Lost his way in many ways, Adrian. There were high hopes for him as a youngster. Now he's on the bench for Elche. So we don't see Halilovic and Pasalic together against each other in the same midfield. The future of Croatia midfield, perhaps. Halilovic is only 18. They signed him in the summer. A long deal, 5-year contract. Initial 2.2 million from Dinamo Zagreb. a lot more if he becomes a first-team regular. That's a nice quick spin by Alvaro, and Adriano collects a yellow card for his foul.
It's good use of the body here, good turn. You can see there's nothing else that Adrian can do except take him out. It's cost him a yellow card and a free kick for Elche.
Just seconds. He's got that line of defenders pushed way out, so he can come steaming into that space. Stays back, lets the defenders deal with it, which they do. Good tackle again by Matja Halilovic. Chip to try and get Sergi Roberto away. Played well, Sergi Roberto.
And he has, hasn't he? He's done well. And you can see he's played more games than a lot of the other younger players. He's got that bit of experience about him. He knows what it's all about. A lot more composed.
Decent defensively as well. Decent pace on it.
Oh, this is trouble.
Rafinha. He's got interesting vision, Rafinha. Sometimes I'm tempted to say he's got terrific vision, the passes that he sees, and sometimes I do think he misses the obvious things.
I think that's going to come with experience, though, isn't it, for Rafinha? But he's got great technique and balance. Look at this on his left side.
On the way that he received the ball as well. Munir is now pushed wide. Oh, it wasn't a good pass. Pedro can make a good pass. Look, a bad pass looked like a good one, though. Adriano shaping himself, trying to get that curling.
He wanted the top right-hand corner. We've seen him do it before. He's leaning back. He had it pictured in his mind, but couldn't quite pull off what technique he needed for the shot. But you're right, the pace of Pedro's made that bad pass into a good one.
As Rafinha takes it so well.
But he's so aware of the position of the defender, and he's made a movement forward, allowed the ball to run across him, turned, and then forces the free kick. And that's what you want.
It was Adrian who was beaten. Hard to blame him, though.
He's only on. He's got sucked in like everybody else.
So here goes Douglas. Zubizaretto watching this on a TV somewhere, I'm sure. Parted company with the club recently. No great surprise. Rafinha. Sergi Roberto. Halilovic. And it's come through to Sergi Roberto. Oh, Munir was waiting there. He tried to get him in with a little back heel.
It was clever, very clever. Tight area playing that tippy-tappy football. They almost pulled it off. It's taken quick.
Halilovic to Adriano. Change of direction, offside then, and struck well by Sergi Roberto.
Same old story, you know, they're waiting until he actually made the contact with the header before the flag goes up.
That was a good attempt. Try and get that ball curling in there from the right back, Peral.
See another substitution for Elche.
Oh, Adrian caught napping there by Pedro. Got to be more alert than that. Halilovic. Rafinha. And Munir. Play again by Peral. There's a Rocco, the big defender. Time to shut up shop at 8-0 down. So it's Dani Alves.
I think it's saving legs, isn't it?
Although I don't know why. He's not a first-team regular, is it? He's a kid, isn't he? Rafa Galvez, not quite sure. I think they're the two 35-year-olds. I'd be tempted to take off.
Yeah, but are they going to fly? That's at the weekend. He obviously has a game plan, Fran Escribá, and he knows who he wants to try and save the legs for. With 20 minutes to go.
He's got a good record with Elche, Fran Escribá, getting them up, keeping them up. Old number 2 to Quique Flores. His old mate's back in La Liga now, isn't he, with Getafe? Here's Halilovic. Tries to curl one in off the foot of the post.
Wonderful technique, wasn't it? Just shaping himself on his left foot, sees the angle and whips it in. Have a look. In there, standing off him. He sees what he wants to do. That's a brilliant, brilliant shot from Halilovic. And Manu was beaten, but the post came to the rescue.
Two games coming up Saturday from La Liga, starting at 5 o'clock for Valencia against Almeria, followed by Villarreal against Athletic Bilbao. Should be a good game, that one. Athletic Bilbao with some points there.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. That's the one I'm looking forward to Saturday.
And then the early one Sunday, Getafe Real Madrid at 5 to 11. Make a note of that. And then 3 later, Atletico against Granada at 5 to 4. Depor, Barca and Sevilla, Malaga. And then Revista coming up on Monday.
A little derby game, that one, Getafe against Real Madrid.
I know there's a few of our Sky Sports viewers heading out to Spain for that one. I think you might need a loan to buy the ticket to Getafe. They're cheaper at Atletico than they are at Getafe. I think you get a better value for money than Atletico. Neat bit of play until the ball was given away. It was Alvaro. Now Adriano. And Rafinha. Gambao. Away by Peral. And Rafinha again. Pellegrin away, got it back again from Adrian. Fragapane ran into Douglas. Good work by the Brazilian right back.
Look at this.
Surge forward by Marc Bartra. Munir to Rafinha. And Pedro. Defended by Peral. Very good defending by Peral. He was fouled by Pedro.
It's done very well, Peral. Didn't buy it when he was checking back here. Change of direction, change of pace. And then he's got him in the follow through. He's just kicked the ball away and Pedro fouls him. Well done, the full back.
Well, there'll be some positives for Escribá to take from this. Performance of his right back will be one of them. The fact that he's kept Jonathan resting on the bench might be another. There'll be clubs having a good look at the big Brazilian.
Well, he's on loan, isn't he?
Yeah.
And I think he's done very well.
Peshara, but there's an option to buy it. He's one of these players I'm not sure who you'd buy him from.
Yeah.
If you wanted him. Here's Sergio Roberto. Halilovic, nice little touch around the corner. Nice pass at the end of all that by Munir. Good strength by Mathieu. Halilovic again. He's hit the post once. That's nicely worked. Edu Albuquerque. Side against Christian Herrera, surely. Here he comes again. He's not a sweeper, he's a sweeper midfielder.
He's a sweeper centre half. Yeah, I thought he was going to head that. He was well outside the area, takes it on his chest and wants to keep possession. Excellent play from Ter Stegen. A great ball from Albuquerque. Have a look. Very aware.
And he picks a good pass as well.
It's a great pass. He's got his head up. Look. Little control volley out wide, keeps possession. Well done.
I do wonder whether there's a real future in this. He does it clearly in the style of Neuer, who was brilliant. The game of the World Cup was at Algeria, where they were really up against it, and he played as a sweeper. Yeah. I don't see why you don't, to be honest with you. The chances of being beaten by a shot from halfway are so slim anyway.
Well, you know, a lot of the Spanish keepers have done it that way. You know, you look at Victor Valdez, who's just signed for Manchester United, and we've already got David De Gea, who's another one who's very good. But you go back to years, the Dutch were the first to really start it, you know.
But a keeper who can really play. He looks a good player, doesn't he? Ter Stegen looks like he could play.
He's playing five-a-sides in training every day, isn't he? He doesn't play as a goalkeeper, I'll bet.
And a bonus corner here. Barcelona, Adriano. Good ball. That's Sergio Roberto around the back. Munir. Here's effort. Easy save for Manu Herrera.
That's on target. It's good pace on it. The angle obviously favours the goalkeeper. I think we can safely say in the second half, though, John, Barcelona's played well within themselves after getting 3 goals in the first half. Oh, yes, it's Douglas.
There are some players who would love a goal. Halilovic nearly got one. Rafinha to Adriano. Bauer decided against the long-range shot. You'd have forgiven him for taking it on. What about Douglas now? Reflected effort, corner for Barca.
Well, it opened up for him, to be fair. He's coming inside and everything starts to open up, and he thinks, well, I'm within range, I'll have a crack at goal. He's hitting the target. He gets a corner kick, and I'm going to take this one short. They like to take the short corner kicks and get a one-on-one situation.
Take them all short, but virtually, haven't they?
Haven't got any big centre forward in the middle half of that. There's no point. Let's get it down, keep it, play 1-2s and pass it.
Well, Mathieu runs up and then just runs back down again every one. Just goes for a 100-yard jog.
And he's already got his goal tonight. It was an absolute screamer.
Rafinha. Good acceleration, nice pass as well to Adriano. He's used the ball particularly well, Adriano, has he tonight?
Tell you what, Terrell's had a great game, hasn't he? Right back, that's a super ball as well.
To Christian Herrera. Nice dip with the shoulder. Tackle though by Malpatre. Pedro. More direct from Pedro. Made a meal of that save, Manu Herrera. Fortunate there was no one in orange lurking for a rebound. Rafinha, good interception by Albacar. Sergio Roberto. Douglas. Rafinha to Halilovic. Foul by the little man there.
Just doesn't look strong enough, does he, Halilovic there? You have to be very, very specially talented if you're that size. I know he's got a good left foot and he's hit one against the post, but it just looks like he needs to strengthen up a bit.
Pellegrin going off, and it's Faisal Faye coming on. French-born player that they got from Cons, and a decent season actually for a club in this situation. Bearing in mind you made the move to a country and then you stopped being paid. Could also play for Morocco.
It's a shame. His run was good, the movement was good. Unfortunately for Herrera, that first touch let him down.
It's been a willing performance by him tonight, hasn't it? But let's be fair and say he maybe looks a little ring rusty.
He's well and truly ring rusty. His first touch has let him down on 2 or 3 occasions for good goal scoring opportunities.
And bow to Mathieu. Took his opportunity. Got the first goal of the night. Halilovic. Sergio Roberto at 22. Just one start in La Liga this season. Meniere's touch. Halilovic loses out in the challenge. And Bow getting in. For a tackle, interesting. Herrera again. Coraminas. You see the idea, trying to get it back into the path of the striker.
Yeah. Clever. It was a disguised pass. He was looking one way and playing a little reverse, and it didn't come off. And Faisal Faye was the other one, and that was overhit for him as well. But they're trying. You can see how hard they're trying, John. They just can't quite get the final pass off, and I think there's a lack of confidence there. Certainly for Christian Herrera, the fact he hasn't scored yet this season.
Got a game against Levante at the weekend. Elche more important than this one. One of the teams struggling down there, and it's really tight at the bottom of La Liga again, as it so often is. It's Pedro with a knock to his ankle.
Let's see here. Oh, he catches him. He does catch him a little bit late there. I think it's Rafa Galvez. Not sure if it was on purpose, though. That's the only thing. Pedro appreciated it.
No foul. Barral just gets up and takes the throw. There's Gambao. Little gap there. I haven't seen him break forward at all. It's pretty conservative in his performance. Now Faye. Cross to Christian Herrera.
He's trying his luck on this side.
Gambao. Rafinha. Sergio Roberto.
That's the two players who stood out for me, Rafinha and Sergio Roberto here.
Here's Halilovic. Back to his feet again, the little man. Yeah, I'm not sure Luis Enrique will have learnt much very new about the players. Adama Traore, I thought, was good. Munir particularly quiet.
No, Munir has been quiet. That's disappointing. I mean, I've seen him play a lot better at the start of the season. That'll be disappointing, but I look at Adama and think he's a real handful. He's got pace, he's got skill, technique. Certainly one for the future. And I've liked Jurek Combao. He's anchored the midfield. He's done everything that's been asked of him. Been very solid.
Here's Pedro. Break into the penalty area. Given away and seized on in the midfield by Bartra.
Well, we know he can strike them better than that. We've seen him. I think it maybe took a little bit of a bobble on Bartra.
Hasn't scored this season. Did score in the final of the Copa del Re. It's probably the last goal he scored, I think.
His job's to keep them at it one end, not to go up and score them the other end. But it's always a bonus when you can do a bit of both.
Spain international with 4 caps to his name. Failed to add to their half-time tally at the moment, Barca.
Oh, good run.
It's Pedro. He's almost falling already before the slight touch came from Rocco.
It's good cover. You can see he's come across. He's not handling it an awful lot. Certainly not a foul for me.
It's on loan from Chilean club Universidad Católica. It's a Chile international. Paid a fee for his loan. I think it's the only money they paid out in terms of a transfer or loan fee in the summer. There's no money to bring anybody else in. Munir. Gave up the chase. Little glimpses of the young Argentine is about, but no more than that.
That's not one of his better ones. That's the worst one from tonight.
Quite sure why he hammered it so hard.
I think he's trying to ping it. get there as quick as possible. There's only 2 minutes to go, but he's done very, very well in every other department tonight. Ter Stegen.
Except making saves, because he hasn't been asked to make one.
Well, he's had to make decisions. That's the other thing about goalkeeping, and he's made good decisions. He's very positive. He's come and won crosses and punch balls out that he's had to deal with. That's about it.
Here's Alvaro, and they force him into a save now. Yes. Oh, and it's an awkward-looking save. And the second one he does make.
I think he sees the first one a little bit late. It's gone round the player, round the defender.
Fragapane coming in then on the rebound.
Well, more than twice as many shots from Barcelona as there is for Elche.
There's a second shot on, well, yeah, those 2 shots on target. Munir, Halilovic. Sergio Roberto. Adriano. Elche's just keeping the score down, aren't they? The formation that they've got is strung across defensive positions. Rafinha tries to get through those lines. Two minutes at the end of this time. Barcelona know that Atletico are waiting for them in the next round. We always knew this was the killer half of the draw, the big 3 all together. Well, Madrid will be hoping those are a couple of grueling games, won't they?
Certainly will help their cause. They can concentrate now on the league and the Champions League. That'll be their remit. They'll be disappointed to not retain the trophy. It's 39 finals they've been in. More finals than anyone else, but Barcelona's won it more than anyone else, 26 times.
Last time in 2012. Do with adding the name back on it. Well, nothing last season.
Yep. Unacceptable for this club. It certainly is.
Halilovic. Pedro turns. Douglas. And it's number 4. And it was Adriano. He's got into some goal-scoring positions tonight as the left-back. And now he's put one away. 9-0 the aggregate scoreline.
That's the boys from Brazil, isn't it? He's got forward a couple of times, Douglas, in the second half when he came on. Here he is in the overlap. Good cross deep into the penalty area. And the run is excellent from Adrian. And he gets across the defender for a header into the bottom corner. That's a bullet header. There's nothing you can do there. Man who's actually coming across from that side is Waits on the other side. And that will complete the right, John.
Yep, just 2 minutes being added on. And it takes up the 2 minutes. And it was the last effective kick of the game. We knew Barcelona were through. 5-0 in the first game. Always set that up, but they've rattled through. Dominant first half performance. Mature.
Power will die.
Elche in the bottom three in La Liga. They've made 9 changes, but a positive result could help them in terms of climbing up the league, couldn't it?
And sell some other players. If anybody wants any Elche players, they're all available. The good thing that they have, the good news this week for them is that actually they managed to pay some of the debts. So improve as a club. But in regards to these, I mean, Fran Escribá, who looks like Jose Mourinho, he actually has said they've got no chance whatsoever, have they? 1%, he said, 1%.
I wouldn't even give him 1%, to be honest, but you never know. In terms of the players that Luis Enrique has picked tonight, Luis, who should we watch out for, do you think?
Well, I like very much Sergio Roberto. He's been playing already with the first team. Every time he comes into a game, gives something, good quality, good vision of the game, and well, he's one of the players I like. And one of the young ones, it could be Adama. He's a good striker or winger who can show a lot of skills.
OK, well, if anyone wants to see what's coming out of La Masia, that is Barcelona's academy, here's your chance to judge tonight. Commentary team, Jerry Armstrong and John Driscoll.
Thank you, Scott. Fran Escribá puts his Elche side's chance of reaching the quarter-finals at less than 1%. But they can win this game and build on the improvements that seen them climb off the bottom of La Liga, albeit only on goals scored. Luis Enrique's fragile position and club politics resulted in Barca playing something like their strongest side last week against Elche's Copa del Re team. It was missing some key players. The result was a 5-0 win for the Catalans, and now a chance to see some less than familiar names in the team. Elche have done all right recently, though. They fought back from 2-0 down against Villarreal, and then they beat Athletic Bilbao. That's in their last 2 league games. And the players have even been paid. Went without their wages in November and December. It was a club in a mess, but Fran Escribá possibly has got them turned around.
Well, the results in the league in the last 2 games have been very good. We had a lot of eyebrows raised to go and win at Bilbao. Not too many people do that, but I'm looking at the side that played tonight, and I have to think that they've given up on this one, and it's a fixture they need to fulfill. But Barcelona, you know, they damaged 5 goals in the first leg, means it's an awful big mountain to climb for Elche.
So we'll look at these names as the Barcelona team goes through. Bartra, Mathieu, familiar claims in defence, but Gerard Gumbau, the number 35, a tall 20-year-old midfield player who was away on loan at Girona B just last season. Also in the team, Meunier, we've seen a bit of him. Adama Traore, who scored a fantastic goal in the rout against Huesca in an earlier round. It's not a total rookie team, is it, from Luis Enrique?
Look, the back four solid. Straight away you've got experience and strength in there, and the goalkeeper. So you've got a strength in the back four, and you've got quality as well up front. You know, Pedro is a quality player, and Rafinha, Sergio Roberto, and here we are on the break.
Minas is eventually stopped. Adriano felt that one. He's gone down. Pedro always attacking at pace whenever he gets the opportunity, of course, and Sergio Roberto and Rafinha. Oh, it's lovely play, Meunier, great save, offside anyway, but goalkeeper Manu Herrera wasn't to know that.
He didn't, and at 35 or 33 years old, he was quick off his line. Have a look, wonderful run. I think he's onside. He's level for me with the last defender. Tight one for the officials, but Meunier gets on the end of it, and give credit to the goalkeeper Manu Herrera. Excellent save to start it off.
One of the teenagers, Meunier, full Spain international though. Sort of nicked him from Morocco. He's Spanish born, but there was interest as well from his family's country, Morocco, but Spain snapped him up, put him in one qualifier, and that's it done.
Yeah, well, his pre-season games, scoring goals, his technique, his skill, I think they had earmarked him and said this is one that we're going to get in this year. He's forced his way into the squad, and last night I watched the likes of Denis Suarez and Deulofeu, who are on loan to Sevilla from Barcelona B, and it shows you the strength and depth and the quality they've got.
I'm interested to see how many more times he plays for Spain. I'm not convinced. We'll see tonight, though. Nearly got a goal there, didn't he? And Edu Albacar, the veteran left back who was paying him on. There's more problems again with Pedro's pace. And it is Edu Albacar who gets there. So we've got some work to do here, the veteran. He's done well. one of these players that you get in Spain who's had a long career without ever really hitting the heights, and he comes into La Liga at a considerable age and realises he's actually quite a good player. Here is Adama Traore, though, perhaps to test him. Oh, lovely skills, and he got his cross in. That's a try. That's the first involvement by the debutant, isn't it? Gerard Gumbau.
Well, I expected to see Samper playing tonight. He's impressed me when I've watched him, and maybe they feel it's a chance to give Gumbaya his opportunity. He must be doing really well, but that's the first piece of action I've seen from him. Wasn't the best tackle in the world.
Well, they are ever so slightly guilty of producing lots of the same sort of player. The Barcelona youth setup. Oh, there's a poor ball by Manu Herrera, and David Traore, who's been fouled there by... In fact, he's been fouled twice, but look at the strength of this young man.
Oh, it's a shame. Now, that's something I don't like to see, and it happens a lot, particularly at Barcelona. And he's got to the byline. He could have put a cross, and he's done really well. Have a look. Strength, power. Could have went down, got the free kick. No, stays on his feet. Put the cross in. Wants to be clever. You don't need to be clever there. But certainly another one to look out for.
Such competition for places, though, amongst those Barcelona front players. And of course, Messi, Neymar and Suarez occupying the places in the first team. Here's Jeremy Mathieu. And Marc Bartra scored in the final of the Copa del Re last season. Also got skinned for that famous goal by Gareth Bale. Oh, it's a lovely skill by Rafinha. Back at Barca this season after a really good year with Celta Vigo. And Pedro, again pacey from Pedro, and again he does well to stay on his feet. Sergio Roberto to Martin Montoya, back in the fold with Luis Enrique. There's Rafinha again. Sergio Roberto. Manu Herrera, the goalkeeper, was a Real Madrid youth team player. A long time ago now, of course. Mathieu being closed down, calmly done. The outlet ball to the versatile, reliable Adriano. Another opportunity to pull it back. Sergio Roberto, there's a vital touch on that one. Corominas then can bring it away, and he goes back to Edu Albacar. Nice bit of skill. An interesting battle, isn't it? He's old enough to be his dad, I think. Edu Albacar and Adama Traore.
I think we've already seen John. He's too strong and too quick, so the left back Albacar is going to have to use all experience tonight, and they're under pressure straight away. 7 minutes. It's been domination from Barcelona, their typical style of football. Keep possession, keep pressing, keep the pressure on. They've got a couple of half chances, but nothing clear cut yet. Good skill.
Lovely stuff from Pedro. And again, everybody else makes their way into the middle. It's still Pedro. Once again, cut out this time by David Lomban. That's delivery towards Martin Montoya, down into the middle again, and a total scuff this time. When he went all the way up from the left back position, Adriano, and he really should have just knocked that in.
Well, you give him credit for getting there, but you're right. I mean, this is a super ball in. Good header, back into the danger area. Well, take your pick. There's two mistakes for me. The first one was Rafinha. He maybe should have had a pot at goal, and then Adrian, he completely fluffs it on his right foot. That's an open goal there. There's your first real clear chance, John, for me, and they've fluffed their lines.
When he scored once this season, it was in the big win in the Copa del Re in the last round.
Adrian's good on either foot. He tends to score spectacular goals, though, doesn't he? From outside the box. Good
Good strength by Mario Pasalic. He's on loan from Chelsea. young Croatian, now a full international. And there's Lomban again, former Barcelona B team player himself, David Lomban. Hit long and quick towards Christian Herrera, two Herreras in the Elche team. Montoya loses out. Skillfully done, nice play by Rajapanic, Argentine player who has come from Boca Juniors and is getting a chance here now with Elche. Skillful bit of play again by Pasalic. Interesting challenge for him. Sure, we'd like to come up against Alan Halilovic, who's on the bench for Barcelona, an even younger Croatian midfield player.
Oh,
that's the foul by Pasalic.
It's the only way he's going to stop him. I like Pasalic, so he's done well the games I've watched him play. He's good in the air, he's competitive. You can see here, not afraid to take Rafinha out. Well, just approaching 10 minutes gone, and Elche under the cosh at the moment.
Pedro just gets the ball from Adriano. He's decided to run it. Now down the Traore. Adriano struck it better than his last effort. It was a lot further out.
Like I say, John, he likes to strike from distance. That's the sort of goals he scores. But it's a little bit ambitious, I think, on that occasion.
Because Barcelona have their problems as well as Elche. They're just a bit more first world. No sporting director, transfer ban. Presidential elections coming up in the summer. Without being able to sign players, never quite sure what the presidential candidates are going to promise to win votes.
The thing is, when you've got that sort of quality in the